And that's, of course, assuming that this is significantly better than what's being proposed.
We don't really know until we allow this to be considered.
Well, I'm
and
confident,
see if we can.
I'm confident it's viable, but I don't think the community can be confident simply because I say that in some.
And it's important.
Yes.
I think when we post this story online, you have these credentials that go on for pages.
Oh, please no.
And so I'd like to be able to just simply, if people doubt your credibility, I'd like to be able to just include your credentials on that, because you are an expert and you have plenty of experience on this. And if anybody says, you know, doesn't know what he's talking about, that is quickly refuted by all of your experience in this. One question that I wonder, just in comparison to, well, it has to do with cost. In the United States here, we put so many man-made obstacles that drive the cost way up. You've built bridges or designed bridges all over the world. Oh. How does the United States cost comparison compare to other places in the world? How much of these man-made obstacles have we placed? What has that done to our cost of these things?
Doubled the cost.
We want to be environmentally responsible.
Well, you can be environmentally responsible, and you can create good design, both engineering and aesthetically, by different procurement process that you can different paths you can take through design. The same month that Seattle area voters voted on building sound transit, the light rail line between downtown Seattle and the airport. Actually, within a week, I was asked to visit Izmir on the Aegean coast of Turkey, a 3 million population city. They decided to build a mass transit system. Very complicated. One of the deepest underground stations in Europe. Underground stations through an archaeologically complex environment. Probably total maybe 20, 25 stations. I think it was 4.5 years they were serving customers, moving people around the city for a third, a quarter of what Sound Transit ended up spending for a project that took them well over a decade to develop. Tremendous costs. I think the United States can learn a lot about delivering better quality infrastructure to citizens of this country quicker if we would seriously look at the obstacles we put in place of our leaders trying to get things done to the betterment of the population they represent.
That is quite a contrast to where we came from. When we built the interstate freeway system, we were the pinnacle of the world when it comes to that amazing infrastructure. Right. Economically, but
let me qualify that. We have learned a tremendous amount about the environmental, social, economic cost of doing things incorrectly. Mm-hmm. What we did in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, I like to think we've learned that many of those things that we did were wrong.
Yes, I agree.
But I do not think it's an impediment to sharing those lessons learned and applying them efficiently and effectively within design and planning decisions we make for future infrastructure. So I'm not one to say we need to abandon our regulations.
Absolutely.
What we must do is we should make them more efficient. We should give all of that information earlier to designers, and we should shape our infrastructure to be as responsive as it possibly can to all those lessons we've learned in the past. I think that the biggest problem we deal with now is that we don't look towards those environmental management process issues to try to make it easier for our society to develop the infrastructure it needs. I think those have become processes in and of themselves that don't always bring the right information to those who are required to discover how best to fit function into complex urban environments.
And as a nation, it appears that we're losing our competitive edge because of our exaggeration of these processes.
You know, last week I was invited to go to Saudi Arabia to help them manage the development of a high-speed rail system that they're currently building. In Saudi Arabia, with our petrodollars. You know, I don't want to admit it, but I think your observation has strong merit of truth.
But it does not have to end there. The awareness of a problem, the awareness of the need for correction should move us to action, to make the changes, to wake us up and say, let's get on the right track.
Well, to do things better.
Smarter.
Smarter, better. Absolutely. You know, and there's buzzwords going on. Lean, efficient, environmentally sustainable. All these words. We need to capture the value of those words and embody it in how we do our business so we can arm as many people with as much information to get these projects correct. It should be what we strive to do, not what we delegate and relegate to others to decide for us.
There's no substitute for good leadership.
True.
This is great. I appreciate that you have invested so much and you've taken the time to share your ideas with us. And I'm very grateful. Hopefully people in our community will give this a chance and will allow and hopefully our representatives will allow this to be evaluated, critically evaluated, and see whether or not this makes more sense. Maybe you can get us on the right track. Amazing what one individual can do.
Well, there's a lot of experiences and a lot of other individuals embodied in what I know. But thank you, David. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, sir. That wraps it for Clark County Today.